Hey guys, welcome to RC Talk. We got a couple guys already with us. Cappy and Randy is with us, and we have a bunch of other guys that's going to be joining shortly. So I'll bring the audio back up for the other guys to come up. Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing good. So this is basically, tonight is basically just open floor. While I work, we can talk about anything. If you have questions, I can try to answer them. If I can't, I'll find the answer somehow. Google's a good place, like everybody looks. But tonight, basically, I'm working on this Jeep. I've taken most of the stickers off, so it's not written sawback on it anymore. So and it's going to be soon going to be painted khaki color for Army Jeep. So I'm thinking I might have to buy a new set of stickers for the front, unless I can take these off and save them somehow, so I can reuse them and not have to pay another $10, or I'm just gonna dish out the $10 or $15, but it's the shipping that's a killer from Japan sometime. And tonight also, so I'm going to be playing with the GCM transfer case to repair it. And I might do a mount here to actually mount these. I'm going to be using earth magnet. I've already done the one for the rear. So a little bridge for the rear and using earth magnets. These little things are strong. They're small and they're very strong.
I love rare earth magnets. But surprisingly, the world's strongest magnet is not a rare earth magnet.
I think it would be an electrical magnet.
It is. I would go into detail, but, not really sure if I should.
I've invited Brett Parker to come in. He's going to be coming in soon also. So
That's cool. He's a good guy.
Yep. I bet you're just saying that just because he's going to show up.
No, actually, I talked to him quite a bit lately.
Just kidding. Yeah, he usually shows up to a lot of the events near the Toronto area. I've had to flip this transfer case over because my motor was actually on the other side when I had the Razor buggy cage on it. So everything was the other way. So this dry shaft was actually on the other side straight. And for this to be in the center, everything had to be over, everything had to be flipped. So I did open this last week, but I didn't put Loctite. I just put everything just loose in there because I knew I was going to get some new shafts and I needed to get it open.
So, I was watching this this video by RC Sparks.
Yeah.
And he was it was this nitro. It was pretty much showing a bunch of nitros. It was apparently, I could tell, it was some sort of event, and there was like a bunch of nitro buggies and off-road vehicles. So he came up to this one guy, and he asked him what the vehicle was, and the other guy, after Medic, I think that's his name, right?
Yeah, Medic. His name is Aaron, but his nickname is Medic.
Oh, okay. Well, he said, that doesn't look very stock. Well, then he said, yeah, I kind of break, and then when I replace them, I upgrade it as well.
Yeah, so he broke a lot of parts.
Yeah, which is essentially what's kind of happening to me.
Now your truck, what truck are you running right now? That's a...
Red Cat Everest 16.
Okay. And why did you buy a Red Cat? Is that what was in your local hobby shop, or got it from...
Well, the truck actually had some pretty great reviews, and honestly, it was actually pretty affordable.
Okay.
Now, it's not the toughest truck, but it's still pretty decent. somewhat. And I probably should have spent my money on something else, but yeah, I honestly think that I should have spent my money on something else.
And we have Stephen Porter that just joined us.
What's up?
Hey, Stephen.
Just listening.
Just listening. You're the quiet guy, eh? Quiet guy listening in the background.
Of course. What are you building there? What do you got?
This is a GCM transfer case. Took it off my GCM chassis, which is a Cross Canyon chassis. It's got a CX-10 axle. It used to be my Razor buggy, but I'm actually converting it to with a sawback body that's going to go on it. So basically, before it used to have this cage on it. So it used to have that cage, but now what I'm going to be doing is putting this guy on.
Cool.
Because my son wanted an Army Jeep.
Looks pretty good, though.
And he's 6, so he's going to be helping me paint it.
This will be pretty exciting.
And since I had it open because I had to transfer my motor, I had to flip my motor because this is motor forward configuration. But for the Razor buggy, everything was way up front. For this, I didn't need it. The body is so short. I brought it back, but I had to transfer everything. So I opened up the transfer case, called up Chris at GCM, and I told him, give me some of your new shafts, because he just came out with new shaft that actually has a dimple into the shaft. Come on, camera, focus.
Yeah, I can see there.
Yeah. But in the shaft, it actually has a dimple, so your set screw actually goes in it, and it's a little safer. It doesn't end up slipping. But in this, you do have to put some Loctite, or else they just come loose. These things kind of turn fast.
Yeah, I was looking at them transfer cases. You should give me a close-up of that. I can't really. My camera's pretty dark on it.
Yeah, just a second.
Well, I never used this Hangouts. Why is my video flipping back and forth?
That's because you're talking. But if I'll present myself like that, it won't flip. It won't flip while you're talking, because when you talk, the video goes to you.
Okay, I see.
Unless I put myself as a presenter. So now, right now, I put myself as a presenter. So basically, this is a one-to-one transfer case.
Cool.
Quite simple. You have a longer shaft and a short shaft, and 4 bearings, and there's gears inside that makes them turn. And when you put them together, you can decide which side you put this transfer case on. But this is basically a one-to-one. 3 screws that hold it. Everything is aluminum, the case and everything. At the beginning, I thought this was plastic, but it feels like plastic, but it's actually aluminum, and it's anodized black. And after a while, you can actually tell when the paint starts scraping off that it is aluminum. You can basically tell from underneath it's been scratched a little bit. But when you open these up, it's kind of cool because it actually clicks together. But there's not much to it. So you just have 2 gears. And they're held with a set screw in the middle. You can actually just take the whole shaft. So when you receive them, they're all apart, and you put them together the way you want.
So, I heard about this servo mod that you could use a servo to make a winch.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, metal
You
servo.
gotta go into the servo and take out the parameters in it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of YouTube video that actually shows you how to do it, but there is a what do you call that again? A potentiometer or
A potentiometer?
Yeah, you gotta disable that, so it doesn't stop and it doesn't find where it is all the time. So you have to find the center and actually glue it in its center position so it doesn't travel. There's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube that actually shows you how to do that.
Cool.
Myself, I never tried it, but I do want to give it a try.
Yeah, I looked into it a little bit. You got to have something that goes onto the servo end and a cable that wraps around it. They make continuous 360 servos that are way easier to do it with. Just buy one of those 360 continuous servos.
Oh, they do sell 360 servos now?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
I actually have a few mini ones, smaller version ones, and then I've seen the bigger ones. I used to work with them a little bit.
Oh, yeah. On my Razor buggy, I had the steering wheel. I put a servo on my steering wheel. So I had when I was turning the wheel, my steering wheel was actually turning. So I'm thinking of doing that with the Jeep also.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before.
I believe James Hunt is in.
There's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube that actually shows you.
Somebody still has the other videos still playing.
Shut it off.
Hey, James.
Hey.
Which do you have both windows open, James? The old window, because I hear myself back, but with a delay.
I just have one open now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good now. So basically what I'm doing right now, I'm just playing with a GCM transfer case and just changing to the new pins. And they actually have a dimple in it to hold the set screw. This is very fast to do anyways.
So, just a question. Were you basically saying that Red Cat isn't a very good company?
It is. I have no problem with Red Cat. I don't own a Red Cat because the local hobbies don't have them. I know a lot of guys have them, but to me, the people that I deal with, that I play with, they do think that Red Cat is a lower company because not as many professional hobby store holds them in stock, and I don't know why. But I can't talk bad about them myself, but that's just what I've heard.
Ah. So then why were you wondering why I got a Red Cat?
Because everybody else has an SCX10 or something similar, but there's a lot of people that don't.
Yeah, I don't really have very much money in my pocket.
Yeah, and that's what budget was basically a big thing for you to actually go out and buy a Red Cat.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I've had Red Cat before. They're a cheaper end product, but honestly, I think they hold up a lot like most other brands.
Oh yeah.
I've had a lot of Red Cat.
Most of all those parts come from Japan. I wouldn't doubt if most of them are transferable or pretty close to that would fit on another machine.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I have an idea for a sort of new quadcopter.
That's a scary thought.
So, you know how puny my SEMA X5C is, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, well, I'm still really, it's all in my head. I haven't really put it on paper or anything yet. If I could pretty much use the radio and build a bigger quadcopter?
I have no idea. I think you have issues with the motors and maybe your controller. I don't have a quad. I'm not sure how they're built, or I know that a lot of people built them, but there's a reason why those are smaller. And if you go and try to put a bigger prop on it, you're gonna throw out the balancing and all that. I don't know if that can be done.
Well, what I'm essentially doing is I'm taking out the transmitter, getting it a new bigger battery, getting it new motors, and really the props don't really need to be changed because they're
Yeah, but what are you going to use for a speed control?
their speed controller is built into the motor or built into the board.
Yeah, but that's a problem, and that's a problem I see with a lot of people changing motors on their current cars, especially the brushed or brushless ESCs.
That's what I'm saying on you.
You take an ESC like this, and this is for a brushless, and people think they can put any motor on there. Well, you can't. You're either going to blow your motor or you're going to blow the ESC, and that's why a lot of people blow their ESCs. These are rated to a certain kV and in a certain size of motor. If you go and put a bigger motor on your ESC, you're going to pull too much current, and you're going to blow your ESC right away.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. You've got to look at the specs.
What?
You got to be careful and look at the specs.
Ah.
The specification sheet of what the motor is and what it can actually take, or what the ESC can take.
Okay.
Another thing, if you guys have a little syringe, and that's what I use all the time, a little tiny syringe, and it's easier to squirt some grease. I got white lithium grease in here, so you're going to pop some in there in the center, and it's all going to go through it.
Yeah, the good thing with that, really not a lot of space inside. So once you get the grease in there, the water will get in all.
Yeah. So where are you guys from? Let's do a round table and talk about where you're from and what brought you in the hobby and what you have as a hobby. So we'll start up with Stephen.
I'm in Seattle. I got a whole bunch of things going on over here.
In Seattle?
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks like you got big rigs as some trucks.
Yeah, I got big rigs, some tanks. I've had crawlers. I've had just about everything. I don't have most of them no more. When I went to Seattle, I ended up losing most of them. But
I wouldn't mind getting a tank or two. I wouldn't mind getting.
What was that?
I wouldn't mind getting a tank or two.
Yeah, I love my tank. I got a Hengelong Tiger 1.
Oh yeah?
It's airsoft. It's all plastic right now, but one day I plan on building it up, putting pure metal through it.
Well, there's a lot of tanks out there that you can actually shoot with. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's this one here. I could fire airsoft pellets through it.
Yeah, for some odd reason I can't see your video. You're all black.
Is it black or?
Just black on my side, anyways.
I don't know. Something's up
Sometimes you have to turn down your bandwidth. It's probably a bandwidth issue. I don't know if anybody else can. Anybody else see Stephen?
I just see a picture
my
of his
screen's
truck.
black anyway.
Okay. Cool. Randy.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you talk about who you are and what brought you in this hobby and what do you do?
Well, I've been in the hobby for a long time. My dad actually used to make scaled boats as well as airplanes. Back when you couldn't buy a kit, like we'd spend half the winter making all the parts ourselves for the wings and that.
Oh yeah.
So obviously I got into cars and I bought Tamiya vehicles. Started off with grasshoppers, stuff like that. Today I'm sick. Sorry guys.
Yeah, you got a cold.
Yep. So I've had on-road cars, off-road cars, lots of airplanes.
Cool.
A couple of years ago, my son wanted to get back into RCs, so started off with a couple. What did we start off with? A couple pair of ECX ones, just a circuit and a tournament, just for goofing around.
Yeah.
And we went from there, and now we have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and even make a wrecker. You got a towing?
Yeah, the TF2 in the background. I got the wrecker unit off the back. There's a comp or crawl this weekend.
Okay.
It's set up as like a friendly comp, so we took the wrecker off of it for that. Too much weight in the back.
Yeah.
That is sitting. Hang on a second.
And again, you live near the Toronto area, right?
Yeah, I'm in Oshawa, right outside of Toronto.
Okay. In Canada, that's where I am too. Just for some people that don't know, I'm in Canada, near Ottawa, Canada. That's between Toronto and Montreal.
So there's the boom with it, with a servo winch.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. And you're the one. You actually have a servo winch.
Yeah. It just bolts back in, plugs in. Very
Yes.
simple.
Show that winch up close.
And that's a pre-made one, yeah? You bought it made like that?
Yeah, that's the one from Locked Up RC.
Okay.
And it's got like 12 feet of line on it. It's
Cool.
strong enough that it'll pull this truck, which is 12 pounds, straight up in the air, and another truck hanging off behind it. I actually did one of my friend's places actually had 3 trucks hanging in the air off of the winch.
All right.
And it just gets to a point where it's just silly.
Cool.
But it's great on trails because
Was
for
that
some reason,
Simcoe? I think I seen you.
Hmm?
Sorry, I was just asking if that. I think I seen that down at Simcoe. You had it all jacked up both ends.
yeah. Oh, at the Halloween Wheelie
Yeah.
Club?
Yeah,
the truck.
yeah,
truck
that's right.
Yeah, it was getting air miles there.
Air miles.
No, I'll tell you, there
How
was
cool.
a part on the course
Yeah.
where it had like a 3-foot drop, and they made a bridge that nobody could really drive down.
Okay.
So
Is that the one that you got the picture there?
yeah, there was a spike in the wall, so I hooked the
Yeah.
boom to the spike and the front winch down to the ground, and I picked it up in the air and I floated it all the way down.
Cool.
They found that quite entertaining. I think I got a award that comp for doing the most recoveries. For some reason, I think people are just kicking their trucks over on the side just to watch me flip them over.
Oh, yeah. Cool. And James Hunt, where are you from?
North of Brampton.
Oh, another Canadian guy.
Just I'm working on some new mud flaps here. I got the dualies on there, and I put these little mud flaps on, but they weren't getting the coverage that I wanted.
Really?
So I found a guy in the States that was doing custom mud flaps. A couple options here.
That looks like a
Mind
big.
you, I have a few dualies, so
That's nice.
and then I got these ones. Yeah, they're 1/8 scale,
Your truck is a
but I'm
1/8.
gonna cut them down.
Okay.
Which is
The
what I'm
mud
doing now.
flaps. What truck are you running?
Like that. It's an SCX, but it's
Oh yeah, it's bigger than that.
this one is yeah, it's 13.5 inches
Okay.
wheelbase. I did this custom topper. It's all made from
Nice.
styrene. The fog lights.
Is that the green dually? I think I saw
the
that truck.
rear lights on a switch. Yeah. Yeah, the green one. There it is,
Alright, yeah. I saw your truck.
Okay.
I had it down in Niagara Falls last weekend.
Nice.
I have another one up here. This one doesn't have the dualies on it right now, but
Okay.
my other SCX.
Nice.
You guys have probably seen this one around too.
Nice Canadian theme. Well, like I mentioned at the beginning, this is a cross canyon.
A lot of people.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to show off one more. A lot of people knock these CC01, but I actually enjoy it after a few upgrades.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen them and I've trailed with them. They
It's got a
seem
lot
not
more
bad.
play in it.
Yeah. They're more of a trail truck than a crawler, but I guess if you do upgrade them and put some thinking into it, you can turn it into one. But the geometry of the SCX10 and it's pretty tough to beat. Cappy, your turn.
Well, my location really isn't is kind of confidential, but
Fair.
I can tell you about the rest of the other things. I don't really remember how long I've been in the RC hobby, but I've pretty much always kind of liked the idea of RC stuff, and I have not gotten a hobby grade RC. I did not get an RC vehicle that was actually hobby grade until just recently when I got the Cappy Crawler, which is my Red Cat Everest 16.
Cool.
For those of you who don't know about it, and I have done some stuff to it, and I kind of am a little hard on it. So far, I've busted 2 gears and 1 motor, which those 2 gears were the both of the gears and the primary gears that attach to the axles in the front and rear drive shafts.
Okay.
And I've also created a body for it, right here. And
Now that's a body you made out of cardboard, I think?
No, it's corrugated plastic.
Corrugated plastic? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a Mad Max look to it.
Yeah. And I kind of have this joke with this RC truck right here. The RC truck has it's not RC, but it's just a little truck. So the RC truck has an RC truck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the corrugated plastic is actually very strong, surprisingly. It's kind of the concept of cardboard.
Yeah.
And cardboard is very strong, considering the fact that it's made of paper, which paper's really weak, but cardboard's pretty strong. And plastic by itself is very strong, but if you put it in the form of cardboard, it becomes even stronger. So that's essentially what's going on here.
Okay. Cool. Now what I'm trying to do real quick, I'm trying to figure out, at the back I built a bridge to actually mount with earth magnet. So right now I'm actually going to make a front one also, and I had some piece of metal sitting around. So I'm just going to bend it and make a little bridge, and then this camera wire is caught up. This has a tower, a truss tower, and it actually has a rear hole and a front hole. So I'm actually going to use this hole and maybe the bottom one to actually hold my bridge that's going to hold my body up.
What kind of motor are you running there?
This one is a Team Intergy 55 turn. I think it's a 55. I got a big pinion. Yeah, it's a 55. When I bought my Wraith, this motor was in the bin of spare parts, so it's a spare motor I got, and I just threw it in there. It didn't cost me a penny, so what the heck? But it's got a, yeah, it's got a 23. Can't tell, but it's 23. There it goes. 23 tooth pinion, and my spur gear is usually the stock SCX10. But I'm probably gonna put a smaller pinion on this. Don't know.
Okay, so to get more torque on your pinion, do you go up or down in gears or in teeth?
Well, if I want more speed, I'm going to have to go down. My pinion is going to have to be smaller with a 55 turn motor.
If you wanted more speed.
If I wanted more speed, yeah. I have two choices. Either I change my pinion to a smaller pinion and going to give me more speed, or change the motor to a 35 turn. But since I have this motor, I might as well just change the pinion. The pinion is $5, so.
Okay, I'm just kind of asking because I'm going through the same thing. I'm trying to figure out what would give me more torque.
More torque is going to make it slower, so you need to go bigger with your pinion.
Yeah, I need it to go slower, but more torque.
Yeah, or your spur gear is going to have to be smaller.
If you want it to go faster, you need to have your spur gear to be smaller.
Yeah, I'm building up one of these semi-trucks, so split shift on it, so it's got the regular 3-speed transmission, and then it'll have a split shift transfer case. Have 2 speeds in the transfer case.
Cool.
But I want to have it all geared down lower, so it's not running. If I hook all that together, it's going to try and run 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So I need to gear it down.
So I went through the process when I was building my rat rod. I took don't know if some of you saw my rat rod, but it's a E-Revo. It's 1/16 E-Revo, but I stretched it to a 12-inch wheelbase, and I put an SCX10 axle at the back. So it's got a fixed axle, but twin suspension at the front. That one was kind of challenging for the gearing and all that. So, but it turned out okay.
So what does the corrugated plastic truck go on?
A rock crawler that is pretty much all of this majority of stuff.
Some assembly required?
Are you still building it up then?
Not necessarily. I actually have taken it apart to get out. I have a really pretty much destroyed plastic gear right there, and the motor went out on me too. So I have to buy 2 new parts, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and buy some motor oil, some electric motor oil, and some of the cleaning stuff that, because Thursday Productions, or really I should say Rich, it's a lot easier to say, but Rich put up a video on motor maintenance and breaking the motor in, and I did not know that you had to do that with electric motors, So this motor started to go out, and then when I tried to clean it the other day, it pretty much just died. And so I'm pretty much just gonna have to get a new motor. And I used to have a motor that was the exact same size as this, but that disappeared a couple of months ago.
Disappeared.
Yeah, literally.
You'll find it after you buy a new one.
Yep.
Yeah, usually it's what happens. There have been numerous things that I've been wanting to use this or that motor for, but I've not been able to find it, so it's probably lying on the garage floor in the humongous mess that it is.
Okay, what do you use the truck for? Like, do you crawl through water or sand?
I have a rock crawling course.
So you're not really going through any water or anything else on it.
Well, I also made an artificial creek.
Artificial creek.
Well, I used.
Isn't that when it broke when you went through the creek last time?
No, the creek is not the problem. I took it through a mud pit.
The mud pit.
Yeah. It was doing pretty good until some mud got up into the system.
Okay.
Sounds like you need to learn how to waterproof the stuff first.
Oh, it's waterproof. It really is. It's just that.
Well, it's waterproof from the company, you said. That's what you said at the beginning.
Yes.
You can't believe them.
I've also waterproofed the axles, which, what I mean by that, I've used white lithium grease.
Okay. Most of the people, when you buy a truck, they say it's waterproof, but really it's water resistant. But it's I wouldn't believe them. It's you have to do your own waterproofing.
Yeah, it's just resistant to their test.
Yeah, and sometimes their test is just splashing water on it.
And not really, it wasn't also the mud that got into the system, but as I said, the rear gear, which is the gear I'm holding right here, the entire center of it is made of plastic, so, and it attaches straight to the drive shaft, so that really just stripped under all of the pressure that it was in, and there's just a nice cylinder going, or a nice shaft that's round and a little going straight down the center.
That red cat is built basically just to be a crawler.
Pretty much.
Okay, so it's not meant to be a mud truck. And putting that much load on it, you're going to cook your motor will get hot. And you're going to hurt gears doing it.
All of the gears, for my, they are metal. Because, well, never mind.
All you gotta do is just keep replacing parts and keep on keeping on.
Yeah. An essential routine with this is run, break, replace, and continue.
The more you get rougher or play hard with your truck, that's when you're going to notice it's going to start breaking.
Can you say that again? I had some noise going on.
The harder you play with your truck, the more you're going to see it breaking.
Yeah. As I said on the stream of comments, I doubt this thing would make it 100 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yet alone 10.
I don't know if you guys have seen. I don't know if you guys have seen my semi truck that I got, but
Nope.
I take that truck and I drive it around Seattle, Washington, downtown Seattle, Washington, for 3 hours straight, miles on miles. That truck would go forever. I'd tear it up, but it's a fun truck.
Mm-hmm.
People look at me like I'm crazy, but maybe I am crazy.
You know what? No, I think you're more of weird, but, you know, I was once told that weirdness is a side effect of being awesome.
That coming from the guy who bought a red cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought them too. I can't say nothing. I would buy them again. Shit.
Well, you go with your budget.
That's true, really.
Anything can be upgraded.
Yeah.
I can't complain. I'm building a new Bright.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
not.
I was
really
just gonna
right.
say, I don't know. You can't really upgrade New Bright, but if you
Really?
know what you're doing, you can.
The only thing that's good on them is the body.
Yep, that's it.
Is they're real thick?
I got one here.
I was once considering getting a new Bright. Once.
Well, guys, I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to drill a little bit, so I'll be right back for audio, but I'll be listening to you guys.
Okay.
All right, Tank. No, the new Brights, they do have very good bodies. The one in the background of mine that I have here is a 1/6 scale. And it's basically set up with Wraith axles, complete front end off of a Wraith, and the back end is like a Yeti XL. So it's got 8 inches of flex. It'll have a 2,000 kV low C motor in it. So it'll have a
What's
little bit
the
of
new
get up and
Bright?
go.
Which one is the New Bright?
The silver pickup that's flexing on the TF2.
Oh, really?
Wait a minute. Look. I don't think we're talking about the same new Bright RC.
There's a whole bunch of new Brights.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, they make tons.
But that's a new Bright.
I was once considering getting a new Bright RC that was a toy grade.
That's what that was. It was a toy grade.
It was.
Yep. I got the body off of Chris at GCM. But it's far from toy grade now.
Don't mind my long john.
Well, if it wasn't for New Bright and Radio Shack and all them older companies like that, I wouldn't be playing with RCs today because they made it what it is today.
Yeah. Can you show me underneath?
This one?
Yeah. That really does not look like that it was toy grade.
Oh.
It's all been modified.
Yeah. How fast does it go?
It's going to be fairly quick when it's finished.
Oh, so you're not done with it?
Not yet. That's the wrecker.
Should put the New Bright as a record.
I actually thought about doing that. But it's too. It just wouldn't look right with all the other trucks because it's just overly too big. I mean,
Well, it actually fits in the scale of the TF2, but not the Jeep.
oh.
Damn shocks are getting in the way of my bracket. Who needs shock? They're overrated. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting myself a rig. Thinking of buying one for Christmas. The budget allows it. Be nice. Getting
There's a
a
bunch of 110 scale new Bright bodies that are actually a lot of people are using them.
Yeah. A nice Tamiya hauler there, the King hauler, or there's a bunch of other ones.
Yeah, I want to get one of the like Euro style trucks. You know what I'm saying? Scania and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't really too fond of them when I first started looking into trucks, but now there's a lot more things you can do with the Scania.
The which ones?
It's not it just resembles the Scania truck, like a
Oh.
Euro style truck, but that's not the name. I can't remember the actual name of it right at this moment. But it's a Euro style truck, Europe style or whatever.
Yeah, those I've seen some videos in Europe there when they do all the rigs and the capitalers and all those trucks. Man, they're crazy what they do with them.
Yeah, they get it. They get into them real hard. All
Yeah,
the lights and
yeah. And I just posted a video on my thing. It's with the micro truck. It's 1/32, I think. Man, that guy's good also. Like he makes his own speed controller, light controller. He makes everything. Like it's just crazy. It's having a little Hot Wheels, but all controllable. But that's too small for me. I'm getting too old to play with small stuff like that. There, front bridge is done.
Looks good, Tank.
So basically, it's just a piece of metal that's attached to it, piece of metal at the back, and then I'm going to be gluing earth magnet from the center. But actually what I'm going to be doing is so that I'm going to be gluing this on here, a piece of Lexan, but I'm going to be drilling a hole that's going to be the size of my earth magnet. Where did my earth magnet go? It's MIA. I got a whole bunch of other ones. Let me get another earth magnet out. Here, you guys can watch my TV for a little bit. A little plasma with Tank watching us work. So basically, I'm going to take an earth magnet and I'm going to drill a hole in this Lexan, but when I put my body on it, it's going to fall into the hole, and that's what's going to keep it straight. So this Lexan
I can't see your pictures. It's not coming up.
My picture's not coming up?
Yeah, you have me on presenting.
Oh. Let me fix that. If ever I don't come up, let me know, or I'll make it come up. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of Lexan and do like a 1/4-inch hole in it, or whatever hole this earth magnet is. So I'm going to do 2 holes. And this magnet is actually going to be glued onto the body. And then when I put my body on here, this is going to fall into the hole. And this is what's going to hold my body straight from going from one side to the other and not wondering, okay, where's it going? So that's how I'm going to do my
body
center.
as well?
No, this magnet is actually going to be glued to the inside of the body. And the way he told me to do it, Chris from GCM, that's the way he does it. You take some tire glue, and you put a dap on here,
Right.
put a dap there. So, but I'll do this things first, and then as I sit my body on it, it's gonna glue it right at the spot I want. And then I take it off. It's gonna stay there, and then I put some shoe glue around it on the body side to help the tire glue, and that should hold that magnet. And that's what he does all the time. See how that goes.
Are you just sticking that magnet straight to the metal plate then, or what's it sticking to?
It will be sticking right to the metal plate.
It's pretty
right
strong.
Now,
or?
Oh yeah, these are stupid strong. Like this is, for me to pull it straight up right now.
Yeah, I heard it smack to it.
Yeah, I can't. This is, and plus I'm gonna have 2 of them. But like you mentioned, if it's too tough, what you can actually do is actually put a piece of tape, Scotch tape, or any other thing to actually take it off. This right here is a thick piece of Lexan, not Lexan, but styrene. It's pretty thick, and when I actually put this magnet onto it with a piece of metal, it's actually holding it. Like
Yeah, I see that, dude.
These magnets are stupid strong.
I know. It's insane. If you take like if you were to take a rod, or not really a rod, but if you were to take like a table and have two rare earth magnets about like 5 inches in diameter and like an inch and a half, and an inch and a half like tall, like 2 cylinders of them, and stick your hand in the middle of it and then drop it right on your hand would pretty much no longer be a hand.
Yeah, that's what in class when they were playing with rare earth magnet, the big ones. That's what they told us. Make sure you don't put your hand in between where the magnet is going to be and the earth magnet is going to be. So.
I saw this video where a scientist took his hand and put them in between the 2 magnets, and he had a rod going down it so that they wouldn't move, and just did that. But of course, it wasn't his real hand. He explained down in the comments that it was actually they used some chicken bones and meat and other just stuff. And it actually did look really realistic, besides all the blood gushing.
And see,
no blood.
One thing I'm doing with this Jeep is on this setup, I had it set as droop suspension. So when I'm push on it, I have no suspension. It's just the tires. So I'm going to leave it that way because I actually like having my Jeep down low, and it just looks better than having a jacked up Jeep like crazy. So I'm going to leave it as droop setup like that. But when I hit a hole or something, well, I do have travel that actually goes up. So.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I don't really like that kind of setup.
I never liked it until I had it. Once I've had it and I played with it, and it's actually interesting to actually crawl with, especially when you get on side hilling. That's where I really notice a big difference. I was with a CC01. It was a Unimog, and I had a little bit of trouble with my SEX10. I could see it wanted to tip, but the Unimog just went straight through, didn't bother it, or it didn't even want to flip. It was amazing because it's really lowered to the ground. So I was impressed.
When I first came to Seattle, I rode in a Unimog. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
So I got a question for you guys. If you look at this is the old body compared to the newer body. And it's just funny because I can fit the newer body right on top of the older body. And in your opinion, which one do you think looks better?
It's a style and it's a look. It's hard to ask somebody which one they like better. I like both. It's your style, it's your body. It's the one you like better. Me, I like custom.
Homemade body.
Yeah, I like custom. So I like better your custom body.
Yeah, the custom is better anyways.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like on this is because what I did is I kind of changed it a little. Originally, I just had these fenders going flat, and that actually was better than having it go all the way up, because now the tires can get caught right here on the edge. Whereas if it was flat, I noticed that when it does that, it just gets sort of just rubs up against the body instead, which so it doesn't get caught, which was really annoying me when it did happen when I removed part of the fenders.
Cool.
Oh, so what's on the top of the other car anyways? McDonald's sticker?
This one?
Yeah, it looks funky. It looks McDonald's sticker or something. No, the black car.
This one?
No, it's a Red Cat sticker.
Oh.
That's a Red Cat sticker.
I thought it was McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Wow. So what I told my son I was going to do with this, and I'm going to try it, I'm going to try to build a 50mm machine gun that's going to be behind here. So I'm going to build something to actually, with a turret, that actually goes up, and then I can actually put a guy here, and he's going to be the one shooting the gun. So this window is going to go down, and I'm going to take styrene with tubes and all that, and I'm going to try building a 50 millimeter gun with the bullets and all that. I don't think it's going to shoot, because that's what my son asked me. Is it going to shoot, Daddy? I go, I don't think so. I'm not that bright. But that's what I'm going to try there. But I also thought maybe if I did a little hole here, I could have one for the passenger, because I think I saw that the passenger actually had a gun also on some of the movies. So I'm debating there on which one I'm going to do. Or maybe
Hey,
both.
Tank.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, you got a gun on your truck, yeah?
But I'm using, these aren't rare earth magnets, they're actually ceramic magnets.
Okay.
So they're not as good, but still provides us a very nice turret.
See, even now, I've just put the body on there, and I just take the rare earth magnet and I put it right on top of the body, and it should hold it there. And I'll do the same thing for the front.
Yeah, but for your Jeep there, you're going to need a bigger turret.
Yeah, I know I will have a bigger turret, because this Jeep is actually like one eighth size when you compare it to another Jeep. Because my guy is way too small for that Jeep. But I got another one that I had on my. But if I put these magnets on there, now the whole body is being held by those 4 magnets. So.
But what I did is I took 2 different speaker magnets, and I'll hold it up right there. That one kind of has a sort of lip right here in that little center. And then this one has a hole in the middle of it, and they kind of mix very well. And what I did is I also took this little, it's sort of like, I don't really know what they do, but they're in like wires. If you ever notice, like, if you were to have a computer wire or some sort of wire that's a power cable, they have these little things in them that are they're just these round, and it's kind of hard to explain, but cool. I just took some wires and then put some thing over them, and they fit really nicely into the ceramic tube. I'm just gonna call it that, and then I added a sort of, I don't really know what to call that, but it's like a magazine or something on the side from the corrugated plastic.
Cool.
And I just painted it all black.
And another thing with my guy, on my Razor buggy, I had this guy in there. And this guy was actually modified. His legs were cut and shortened a little bit. His torso was cut and shortened a little bit. So he was really modified to actually fit in there. I had no idea how tall this guy was before. But this is a regular 7-inch wrestler that fits in the SEX10. And you can tell that this guy, beside the Jeep, is way too small. Even when I sit him in the Jeep, he's way too small. And that's a sawback Jeep. So to me, he looks way too small, as if he's not really in a wheelie Jeep. Because a wheelie Jeep is pretty small. I've seen some videos of them. A wild wheelie Jeep, they're small. But when I put this guy in there, he fits much better. And he looks much better. So that's good. It's going to go in there.
Nice. So someone left, apparently.
Yeah, just knows that. Thanks for joining, Peter.
Yeah, I'll be right back too.
Yeah.
Well, it does look good, Tank.
Yeah, a little bit more playing with the, hopefully the magnet and all that's going to hold it. I got to get some paint and paint it with my little guy. I want to show him some different Jeep, RV Jeep scheme, and I'm going to let him decide which color scheme he wants to get. Either a desert scheme or a green, which is going to be a khaki green or whatever for the forest. So, or a brown, I don't know. I'll let him choose a color. It's going to be his truck anyways.
All right, well, that'll be cool.
Yep.
Well, anyway, I'm going to let you guys go.
Thank you for joining. And hopefully we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I just wish I could stop coughing.
Yeah,
So-
it's all good.
All right, guys, well, have a good night.
Thank you.
See ya. So by next week, I should have the I should be able to buy my parts for the khaki crawler, and then I'm estimating that should take about week, maybe half a week for the parts to arrive. So that would be about 2 weeks from now, or well, not 2 entire weeks, but
Okay.
that would, yeah, somewhere around that.
Yeah, I got kicked off when you was showing me the bigger scale guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm back now though.
Juno Mac is saying that he tried to get into the live video, but he's watching the live one right now. He's watching it and he can't get in. It's another guy.
What's the little car you got right there?
Who?
I don't know his
This
name.
one?
Yeah.
James.
So
I believe this is it's a Duratrax, I can't remember the name of it, Ventera or something. It's a 1/18 scale.
Okay.
It was
Electric,
a buggy, I
right?
converted it. Yeah, electric. Pretty quick, it's brushless.
I'll come
The
right back.
body I hydro dip for it.
Cool.
Alrighty.
I'll come right back. I'll go get something to show you guys. It's kind of cool.
Alrighty. Yeah, your camera is kind of dark and blurry. It was hard to see the car, but I could tell what you was telling me. So.
Well, mine is.
I don't know why my camera don't work. I exited and came back and it still didn't work.
Wait, have you tried using the magic technique called turning it on and off again?
Well, I'm on a tablet.
Do you have a camera?
Just on this tablet.
Oh.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm one of them poor guys. All my money goes into my trucks.
Okay.
Oh, What's that?
Wow, it almost look as if you could convert this to a. This is a full metal, and I haven't seen any of them, or I'm looking all over the internet. But I think it's an old 1960 or 1950 Tonka truck, but as a Jeep.
That is awesome.
But this is all metal. It doesn't have the rear, but it has the front. But this is all metal, like a Tonka truck would be. And it's actually kind of got a motor in the front. So when you turn it, it keeps turning.
Oh, it's one of those.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah, nice find.
Yeah, and it's kind of got a kind of an interior.
It's nice.
It's in good shape.
Cool.
It's in good shape, other than it's missing the rear wheel. And the other thing that I got is, which you guys saw pictures of it already, this thing. This thing. So this is my camper Winnebago from Tonka.
So is that just like, it's not RC, is it?
Not yet.
Not yet. I like that attitude.
But it's got kind of a little canopy that you can actually hold, and it makes like a canopy so when you're camping.
Nice.
It's missing the fridge door, but I can always rebuild one. Swivel seat in the front. It's got a washroom. Shower. It's not in bad shape. It's pretty good shape of the body. There's no rust. It's
You know what? You could use the fridge, sort of like turn that into a place to put all your electronics. Well, pretty much just your receiver and ESC.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different hiding places I can do.
Yeah.
But this thing is such in great shape, it'd be heartbroken to actually convert it and change it to something else.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. We'll see. But I see too many people convert these and put 2.2s on them. If I do convert it, I'm going to convert it and put 1.55 on there and keep it small. But this thing is heavy. Man, is it ever heavy.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really sure what you should do.
Make a nice cooler for the trail.
Make a what?
A nice cooler for the trail.
Yeah, nice cooler, yeah. I've seen some guys actually building trailers camper, and they actually coolers like that they can put their drinks in it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those out west, I think, in Alberta or something. There's a couple of guys doing that.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, and my picture work?
Yeah. But I'm surprised on the shape of this thing. It's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I really don't know what you should do with it. I mean, part of me is saying that you should, like, dive into the project of turning it into an RC, but part of me is saying that you should just leave it the way it is.
Well, some of you probably did not see my other one. my other truck I'm working on. I got too many projects. This is my other one I'm working on.
You've been working on that one for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had it since last Christmas. Actually, I got parts for it last Christmas, but haven't done anything with it. It was just sitting there, and I worked a little bit. But it's got a flatbed trailer. It's going to be a toy hauler.
Nice.
So that's that. I started the interior. So the interior goes. Come on.
So, like, what kind of vehicle are you planning on this being? Just like a truck or a semi?
This is going to be just like a tow truck. It's just going to tow the.
Oh, tow truck. Okay, I gotcha.
I'm wondering how come it doesn't fit anymore. Oh, this thing slid forward. So my interior goes there, and I have a Ford F650 body. Used to be a pickup. The guy converted it. So that's basically going to go like that, and that's my toy hauler.
Nice.
And I got a big 3-foot trailer that's going to go behind it. That trailer is huge.
That'll be interesting.
I want to convert it and change it a little bit, though, because...
So, what do you still have to do on this truck?
So this is part of the trailer. It keeps going, and then it keeps going. So let me back up. Sorry for shaking. But basically, this is the trailer, but I want to make it higher, more like a fifth wheel at the front, and then the rear, my Wraith is going to go there. But it's too long right now, so camper's probably going to end up where my thumb is. It's going to have dual axle.
You said that's styrene too, right?
That is correct. That is styrene.
Styrene?
Yes, this is all styrene. And it's got aluminum frame under it. This is
That is insane.
aluminum frames, rails. And then it's going to have 2 axle, one there and another one here. But all the rest is styrene. But what I want to do is I want to make this like a Winnebago at the front. But for this guy, but right now it's too short for Winnebago. So I need to raise it at least a good 1.5 inches higher. But it looks good when it's behind the truck.
So, what do you still have to do on the truck?
On the truck?
Yeah.
Not much, because I finished the drive. I've tied this at the back now. My drive line was done, but I actually took. Let me take that off. I got my electronics for it. The motor's installed. I got my transfer case. I bought a transfer case from a 1/14 semi truck transfer case that I put under here. So that's just a small little 1-to-1 transfer case. This is a big, long, kick-ass dry shaft, because from here to here I had 12 inches from this transmission. So I had to convert it in half. Wow. But I had my dry shaft here, but I took it and put it in my son's Jeep, because he needed a shorter one, because this one I had was too long. So, but I'm going to put this one in here. So this one will fit here, so I just have to reinstall it. So basically, to get this going, I do have a servo. I can get it going anytime. The reason I don't want to get it going is I want to work on the interior. Mm-hmm. And I want to do a nice job on the interior. I want to build a dash. Here's my second row seating. And basically, that's where the battery is going to hide from the other side. That's my second seat at the back. And I have my dash. Now, it's all going to be painted, but I want to put lights in here. I want to put a moving steering in here. I want to paint all the inside really nice. This is all the details that's going to take a long time to do. And get a truck going and playing with it is the easy part and fast. But It's all the details that's going to take a long time.
That is crazy insane.
Yeah. And it's finding the time to work on this, because I can only work on it at night past 8 o'clock, because my little guy goes to bed at 7:30. He's 6. So my time is taken with him pretty much all day. Saturdays and Sunday, it's just busy with him all the time. And the only time I get to play with these things is at night. So, and sometimes I got to spend time with the wife also, not just with these things. So.
Mm-hmm.
But this is all leaf. Right now I have no shocks, but I probably will be putting shocks, especially at the back. I was thinking of actually building airbags for the back, because these would have airbags because you got a lot of weight. I made a video of how to do poor man dually wheels, which I have to buy another wheel for this side. But there's a quick, easy way to do dually wheels with these. I'm not sure if you guys actually saw the video, but if you take 2 rims and you actually take 1 rim and drill out or cut this out of a plastic rim, you take a 1.5 inch pipe, do a slot into it, and then when you quickly just squeeze it, it fits perfectly in the first rim. Push it in all the way. It's about 1.5 inches, this pipe, and 1.5 inches wide. And then when you take this other rim, you can actually just slide it into it, and it slides all the way in. Oh, I got it backward. That'll be okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
And now it's tight together, and you just glue your tires on it, and when you slide it into your SEX axle, it goes and reaches to the other one that's completely on the outside, and then you don't have to worry about being wider than your truck. It actually goes inside the truck. Just like this wheel is actually inside the frame. But if I were to do it the other way, of a dually, it would actually stick out. A normal dually. So now, right now, I didn't modify this shaft at all, and my wheel is actually on the inside. It's kind of a cheap way of doing it.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. So what did you say your transfer case on that was?
I don't think you'd be able to do that.
Hey?
You said your transfer case was a 1-to-1?
Yeah, it's a 1-to-1. I got it off Japan. It's for the Tamiya rigs that some people usually use. It's the one that's got a fancy looking shape to it or whatever there.
Yeah, I've seen them before. I just never actually seen them in person.
Oh, yeah. So it's actually just a small little bearing with a shaft in it and something to hold it on. So, because that's
just a carrier bearing pretty much then, right?
Yeah, and pretty much, and it's got a, it is a carrier bearing. I don't know if the camera's going to focus. Let me point it at the right place and I'll be okay. Come on, buddy, focus. Might be too close. It's focusing on my hand.
Yeah, it's okay. I could see it there.
Yeah. It just doesn't want to focus. But anyways. It's got a lock, a little lock C-clamp that actually holds it. C-ring. So, but I couldn't find a dry shaft long enough, and I didn't want a dry shaft that long, so I said, screw that, I'll just put that there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out my drive lines between the split shift I'm working with.
Oh, yeah?
Still have yet to get them.
Well, see, this thing was, I can't remember which store I got it from, but I got it in my history somewhere. But it was like $9, I think. But the RC four-wheel drive one, which is exactly the same shape, exactly the same size, it probably comes from the same place. They want almost like $20 for it, plus whatever shipping. I ended up paying less than $20, shipping included. So I said, sure, I'll buy that. So
yeah, I've noticed RC four-wheel drive has high prices too.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah. The guy that built this this is all built out of styrene, and I did not build it. Some other guy did for Chris Robinson from GCM. That was his before I bought it off him. But this is all styrene. and build on a brass frame. And what I did is I built two little brackets, L brackets here, to actually hold the front, so it actually does not slide back anymore. And now I got to build two other ones at the back to actually hold the back, so it doesn't slide forward anymore. Because right now it slides forward, but it can't slide back. So you just got to lock it, put something at the back to lock it so it stays there. But I want to take my time with this guy. I'm not in a rush. I got 24 other RCs I can play with, so I'm in no rush to get this one going. It's I want to take my time on this guy.
Hey, let me show you, see if my camera will work here. I'll show you what would be nice to hook up to your truck there. My dirty floor. Uh-oh. Dragging it all over. It's a 4-foot lowboy.
Cool. See, my pickup truck can pull that.
Nice.
That's my hinge long on there.
Yeah, you're the one that did that hinge thing to actually pick it up and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that video.
I can kind of show you a little bit, but...
Yeah, I remember seeing the video.
I'm just picking up on the neck there.
Yeah. Cool.
Then all you got to do is... There's just like on a regular lowboy, you have your ride height that you got to flip up in order to lower it down. Flip that ride height up.
And then you just drive off with it.
That actually releases it so that you could lower it down on your jack, lower it to the ground, and then you got to pop the trailer latch. There's a latch down there. It'll come up, releasing it, and then drive off.
Cool.
Same way back up to it.
And you actually build that from scratch?
Yep, all scratch. To tell you the truth, I got sponsored.
Cool.
By K&S Metals.
Yeah,
it took me a while. I'm building a couple more right now, actually, in smaller scale.
Now, that tank, is it a plastic track or a metal track on that tank?
They're plastic. Pretty much everything on it right now is plastic. But
yeah, I've heard on the plastic tanks, when you use it a lot, the tracks gets longer on the plastic tracks.
Yep, that's what's going through my mind right now. I'm having a problem. The front, you have, let's see, I need a better light. Hold on here. All right. So you could see the wheels, all the wheels through it.
Yep.
This front right here, it keeps spinning the front gear off of there, the whole gear off of there. I can't figure out why it's doing that. The whole nut, or not the nut, the screw that goes inside of there, like there's a little cap covering everything here. But it keeps just pulling it out straight out, and you can see how much slack is in that track now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot.
Can't you put Loctite on that screw?
Yeah, you can, but I want to be able to get them back off too without having to tear that all up. It's just plastic inside there.
Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and go now. So, see you.
See you later.
You have a good one.
Yeah, Tony from CCXRC would give a comment saying that Winnebago is so cool.
Yeah, that is. You're going to RC that, huh?
Well, we'll see. Like, I got to work on, I got a few projects for this winter. One of them is finishing off the Jeep. I got to work on this, and maybe once I'm finished this, then I might convert to Winnebago. unless I change my mind. Never know how things are going to go. But right now, I'm in no rush. It just happened that a buddy of mine phoned me up. He's getting divorced with his wife, and he's moving, changing house, and all that. So he's cleaning his house. So he's getting a lot of RC stuff out of his house, and that's what he wanted to do. So I got a really good deal on it. So I said, sure, I'll pick it up. Even if I don't touch it for a year or two, I don't care. It's just going to sit there. Unless somebody buys it off me for a good price, then I'll let it go. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there. So, mostly.
Well, sooner or later, you'll have a project to work on, or have nothing else to do.
Yeah. If I find an old SCX10 that nobody wants, or a good price on a roller or something, then I can just take the parts from it and pop it under there. I'd probably do that, but I'm not going to go around and hunt for parts because I got too many projects on the go right now, and I find out if I have too many projects, I don't finish one. I got to concentrate on one project, finish it, and move on.
I know how that goes. Here's my project.
Nice. How long are those rigs about?
Well, this one here was, I think it was 18 inches. I think it was 18. And I went to 23 inches, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. I don't quite really remember off the top of my head. I could measure it if you wanted me to, but.
Now, is that a Tamiya, or is that a different brand?
This is a Tamiya. Well,
Okay.
It was. I've changed the frame and everything. Pretty much just all the plastic pieces that you see and the motor and everything left over from the Tamiya.
Cool.
It's still in build, that's for sure. I don't even have no drive lines on there yet or nothing. I just got the fifth wheel plate and everything. Got to still mount that. Pretty cool little cross member in there, though. It's got a air tank on it.
Nice.
And then all this here is metal. This is actually pretty interesting. You should see this. Most of these fifth wheels, you have a little bit of play inside of there. But if you notice, on both sides, it has a dill. One locks the trailer in there, and on the other side, it is just a bump with a spring behind it that takes up all that slack that keeps it pushed up against the lock.
Well, let's have a look. I have one right here, actually.
Really? Yeah. Yours don't have the dill underneath that keeps all your slack out.
No.
You can see it in there a little bit there.
Yeah. No, mine. I don't have that on mine. Mine is just it's just got a pin through it.
Yeah. You just hear a little bit of slack go back and forth when you're driving around. Is all.
Oh, yeah. Is
I
yours
don't know.
unique
You know
now?
what? I've never actually hooked this to a trailer. Maybe that pushes it out of the hitch.
Yeah, it probably pushes it out.
That's what I'm thinking. It might actually help it push out too.
Yeah, so when you pull on your thing, it actually pushes it out. Yeah.
Right. And then a back cross member, custom. Well, it's not custom. I didn't make it.
Nice.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, mine.
Pretty proud of it, so.
It's just a normal one. The one I have, it's just a normal one. It has no pin or nothing, so it just locks it in. And I do have the other plate like you got to mount the servo up front. But I still don't
actually mangled mine. I was going probably like, I don't know, I had my truck in third gear going around a corner and ran into a brick wall. And my trailer just ripped that thing to shreds. Sorry.
So yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, I went, or was it yesterday? I went crawling with a buddy of mine, but I actually fell off a cliff. It was a pretty steep cliff, about 20 feet, and I actually fell down on my truck. So there's the body of my truck now. That's the only thing that happened with it, which is not bad.
How are you gonna fix that?
I don't know yet, but glue it back, and try to reinforce it from the inside. But I did kind of break my leaves at the back. My leaf springs are shot. They're actually all bent to shit. My axle is way too far back now because the leaf spring, like my axle is supposed to be here. So I actually went to the store today and bought a whole set of leaf springs. So because I got to replace the rear now. But it's a good thing I just put, because here there's supposed to be 2 screws holding the body. But what I did is I put set screws in there. So there's actually no head holding it back. So when I actually fell on it, with the torque, it actually came off. So that's probably what saved most of my body. But I should be able to just push it back and glue it back into place. Like right now I'm pushing it and put something from behind. Yes, the crack might still be there, but heck, 90% of the time my truck is dirty anyways. I leave the dirt on. So
it just shows character.
Yep. But like I told Chris from GCM, it's either, if I can't fix it right, I'm going to maybe melt it or make it look like a dent, make it look like I had an accident with it. We'll see.
Yeah, you could actually fix that crack by melting it together, I bet. Kind of like denting it in.
Like the crack actually followed all the way to the back. It's kind of, and it's actually 2 different parts. So it's actually, and I can see cracks in the paint. Here I can, but you guys can't. But I actually see little. Oh, you can a little bit. Oh no, not anymore. But like I'm 269 pounds and I rolled on this thing. So, but there's not much broken on it. I actually started driving with it. So after, so everything seems to be okay. Driveline is all okay. I didn't break any. These are cast iron, so they're not that strong, but they did. Nothing broke, which is good. See the.
I literally was like way past the. So I had to pull over.
This one is all bent.
Round to my car.
$3.
I was able to get 5. So I did take $1 out of your front of your.
I had to mute James Hunt. Girlfriend was talking too loud, James. But you can tell the rear axle how bent it is. It's actually leaning.
Yeah.
But it's nothing that $25 is not going to fix.
He's already got parts for it.
Yeah, I already got the parts for it. I was debating tonight on actually working on that or doing the frame for the body. I said, I'll keep that for another night. So, and my guy, I got a guy in there, but he's all turned upside down now. He's actually looking, you can't tell, but his head is actually looking down. So that's his head underneath the dash. So I think he got scared. And there's the steering wheel. Luckily I found the steering wheel, the door handle, and part of the bumper that I put on the desk. So.
Alrighty, well shoot, I gotta go get some dinner.
Yeah, it's 10:36. I'm gonna cut this short also and say good night to everybody. And we'll see you next time on the next RC chat. Thanks for joining in, guys. It was nice having you guys. Thanks, James, for joining in. had to cut your mic off, so if you want to talk to us, you're going to have to turn it back on.
You don't
All
even
right.
know what's going on yet.
We'll
All right,
talk
hey,
to
you
you
have a
guys
good night.
later. Have a good night. Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
Bye.